What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumbass. Like and subscribe, hype, and press the button real quick. There you go. So, I wanted to talk about real quick. I got the sneezes, so pardon the sniffles. But I was watching Sean today. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to Dirt. Shout out to Ray Ray. Shout out to Joey Chunks. Shout out to everybody. Purse, Danny, everybody. Circle Game of Circle. Anyway, he was talking about what Helix is going to be, meaning, is it going to be a hybrid PC? Is it going to be a console that can play PC games, which is what Asha said, but what does that mean? And remember, I think I said in the last episode as well, last video as well, sorry, that Xbox, the Helix should be an Xbox, plus the ability to play the Steam library, but not have the Steam store or the Epic store or GOG store, any other no other stores, just the Xbox store, right? Which is Xbox console and PC games. You can buy all that, but the Steam, you can't buy Steam games on the Xbox Helix, but you can play your Steam library. The reason why I say that, and I think he missed this point because he was still hung up on, this is one of the rare moments when I disagree with Sean, but he was hung up on the fact that the marketplaces would compete, like the Xbox marketplace, Xbox store versus Steam. And I was like, yeah, but that's not the I mean, that would be the competition if that were to happen, or if that is to happen, and it will happen anyway if Xbox gets their stuff together and their store is actually becomes better than Steam, which I don't know how that happens, but sure. And then there's competition within the marketplaces, sure. Just like on PC, just Steam versus GOG versus Epic, and people know the Steam is the top dog. GOG is probably, I don't want to say second, but they have a special place because of their DRM situation and the fact that there is no DRM. So they will, as long as they exist, they will always be treasured by a certain sect of gamers. But he missed the part where doing that, having the Steam games available to be played on your Xbox Helix, brings in those people who would have bought a Steam machine to play their PC games in the living room, but the Steam machine is too underpowered and it's too expensive. You can't have both. You can have too expensive and overpowered and be like, well, you get what you pay for. And look, these are PC gamers. $1,000 is nothing. $1,200 is like, hey, that's a cheap PC. I should get that, throw it in my living room. That way I can play all my Steam games on the couch. That's the purpose, to get the Steam players who would not buy games on Xbox anyway to buy the box. And then you can say, yo, with every Xbox Helix, you get a month of Game Pass or whatever, right? And that's the trap. That's the trap where it happened to me. So I bought the Xbox Series S, right? I was like, all right, cool. And it had Game Pass, like 2 weeks of Game Pass or whatever. I plugged in. I was like, let me try this out, right? I was probably, Game Pass, look at all the games, blah, blah, blah. And I got used to it for 2 weeks. And then the day came when it was like, oh, you ain't got no Game Pass no more because 2 weeks is up. And I was like, it feels like my Xbox is broken. It feels incomplete. I need Game Pass, so I signed up for Game Pass. Right then and there, I said, nope, this ain't happening. I gotta get Game Pass. It got me. It got me. And it's not like it was FOMO or anything like that. It's not like it was FOMO. It was just like, it just felt incomplete, if you will. So that's a very strong marketing tactic because it worked on me. And I got no problems paying, not too much, but like $30 was like, okay, I don't know. I was 23, whatever. But that's the thing. He didn't really discuss that. And the chat wasn't really discussing that either. Although I did miss some of it, so maybe they did. But I didn't see anybody say it's about getting the Steam play. It's about getting the players that were not going to buy an Xbox in the beginning and they will buy the Helix because they can play their Steam library. Those lifelong Steam PC gamers who want to play in the living room but don't want to drag their giant PC over and plug it in. They just want to have a little box they plug in and they have access to all their games. That's what the Helix is for. If it's set up the way that I said, without the store, but with Steam access. This access to the Steam library of games to play, but not to buy. And I'm like, that's a lot of people. There are a lot of people on Steam that would be like, yep, let me do that. Because they're still going to buy games. They're still going to be on their computer. They're still going to buy games, however, on their phone, on a computer, whatever. But they want to be able to sit in front of their big old 89-inch TV and be like, bleep, bloop, bloop. Let me play Backrooms, or let me play some crazy indie horror game, or whatever. That's the whole point. It's not about the marketplace. It's not about cannibalizing, blah, blah, blah. Whatever Colin Moriarty said and what Sean is talking about. It's not about that. It's about capturing more users. And what's Asha's job? Asha's job is user acquisition. That's her speciality. She knows this. So she's like, yo, how can I get all these freaking Steam gamers on the Xbox? I just laid it out for you. I would be totally okay if they did this, because it's not about, oh, people on the, if a gamer is going to be on the Helix and then they see the Steam marketplace and they're going to, first of all, with my setup, you're not going to be able to buy games on Steam through Helix, so boom. Even if it was on there, gamers are like, I mean, that's another thing, and then I have different, they got to do another sign up, and it's a little more involved. And Steam, as good as it is a little less noob friendly, let's just say, because there's a lot there. There's a lot of information, and it's all good and everything, but it's like, it's not for the timid, let's just say. So I don't know, man. I just think I think my version is probably the least destructive and the most probable. It's not about the storefronts on Helix. It's about playing the game. And that's what her language was. She said, play your PC games on Helix. Console and PC games. That's what she said. She ain't saying nothing about buying all these games. No. She said, play your games. And I'm like, all right, cool. And they did that with the app. But I mean, I don't know if Steam would be down with that. And then like in my brain, and somebody in chat did mention it. They said, well, eventually Microsoft's gonna buy Steam anyway, so whatever. And I was like, yeah, that might be right. So this might be a precursor to that. And then Sony taking their games off of Steam might also be a precursor, because they probably be like, uh-oh, I think Microsoft is gonna buy Steam. And if our games are on Steam, and if Microsoft owns Steam, you know, I mean, it's all business, it's all numbers going here and there and to and fro, but still, how's it look if PlayStation putting their games on a Xbox platform, because it would be called Xbox Steam or something. They put Xbox somewhere on there. I hope they do. I mean, I'm like talking like they bought them already. I was like, I hope they don't change Steam. It's like, they better. Well, I mean, they would change it, but probably improve it in certain ways. But they know if it ain't broke, don't fail. I mean, look at BattleNet. BattleNet hasn't changed, I don't think. They just bought it and like, yeah, just do your thing. So, but anyway, it's gonna be a short one because of the nostralizes. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that real quick, because I was like, well, y'all are talking about this and y'all are like really fighting, but it's like there's a way to kind of maneuver through it and say, okay, yeah, that's beneficial for Xbox, because more PC gamers, more Steam gamers will buy a Helix just for that, just to be able to play their Steam games. They were never gonna buy games on Xbox Marketplace, never. So that's what's up. But I appreciate you hanging showing me my eyes. Hit me down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about my idea of how Helix can have Steam access, but not cannibalized, because it won't be it would just be access to the games and blah blah blah. Same with GOG, same with Epic, access to the games but not the stores. Blah blah blah. But let me know what y'all think about that, and I'll talk to y'all next one. Until 2 weeks.